Sigma.
I first tried to texture this, which then became this. Pretty cool, right? Anyway, let's get to the video, shall we? I have been doing a lot of things for these couple of months, and if you're wondering what kind of pattern is that, as you can see, I'm using it for a texture this little Shroomie guy here in the Substance Painter. Yeah, it's gonna look good. So I have decided to basically ditch Autodesk Mine Arnold, which was my main way for rendering, and I decided to try out Blender. Yeah, believe it or not, Blender. Fun fact, that was the first software I used to actually model. I even did like a little mug tutorial. I don't know if I can find it. If I can, I put in the link below so you can understand what kind of tutorial Blender used to be. I mean, software. And I almost gave up 3D modeling thanks to that tutorial, but fortunately today Blender changed quite a bit in my humble opinion, and it's actually not only viable, it is already industry standard in some parts and pretty good for what it does. Now don't get me wrong, UV mapping and retopology still king with my animation too, even though I'm not really an animator. Blender already covers for that. Have a lot of good things about it. There's this free add-on called REKT. You can basically quickly create a little skeleton for your character, which is, you know, just a little teaser of what I'm giving. I'm gonna pose this little guy I'm making, right? And I really found a lot of cool things to do with Blender as well. And I will post them up and keep you updated with it. But yeah, that's basically what I've been up to this last couple of months, in case, I don't know, 20 or 30 of you were wondering. But I will grow as a channel, mark my words. I'm never gonna give up, no matter what. No matter what they do, how bad the economy gets. By the way, I think you're aware that the economy is just not very good these days, right? Prices are going to the skies, crypto's not doing so good, which is basically the main topic of today. Could you have foreseen all of that? Well, here's my question. Do you know who Joseph Kennedy is? You don't? Well, you should know, in my opinion, because this is a very important and streetwise, let's put it this way, which has already been common knowledge on Wall Street for quite a while. Basically, if certain types of people are going to investment practices, it means it became quietly and widely defunded and widespread through society at large. And that's the main point. Agreeing with the legend, Joseph Patrick Kennedy, aka Joe Kennedy, was basically shoe shining his shoes in New York during some point. I don't know much about him at all, but the main point is he basically heard from his shoe shiner some advice about the stock changes and what to invest in. He quickly decided, wow, if even a shoe shiner is investing in that, maybe it's time to get out of that, because if the bottom of the society is investing in me, then everybody is. That means that the lowest of the professions back then, no offense to shoe shiners, because, you know, shoe shiners today, if they exist, then it probably means that they're really skilled and they know a lot, and, you know, you could probably charge quite a bunch of money. I mean, shown shoes, they really look good and they really make the difference. Don't get me wrong, appearance is really important in the business world. But the point is, shoe shiners, in my opinion, they shouldn't be dealing in stocks. If they are, they're doing something wrong. They should be more worried about getting ahead, or maybe improving their skill or trade, or doing something else. So they are indeed the bottom of the society, and other people who do other menial types of jobs. And the same happened, for example, the dot-com bubble. You're considered a fool if you didn't invest in a couple of tech stocks in their early 2000s and late 90s or so. And that's another cycle of the market, which basically is going from the middle growth to the top on the neo paradigm situation. And you know what happened to the dot-com bubble, right? It basically, everything fell apart, and a lot of the companies are basically pretty much worthless. But not all was lost. The fact that I'm recording this video and posting to one of the biggest tech companies in the world, Google, today, for example, through YouTube, is one of the biggest evidences that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. The bear market we're having right now will eventually pass, and in my opinion, it's not going to last much longer. I think it will last until the mid or third quarter of 2023, and then it will finally stabilize, right? And we'll reach a new either stable or a new bull market, in which there will be massive gains for everybody. A lot of NFT sales and a lot of bots trying to gamble money and all that good stuff that we love. You know, plenty of good speculation on assets, which crypto's not very different from the stock market, where it's still in a way affectable by market conditions. I thought it would be different with crypto, but turns out it's not really, because as I said in the previous video, the Fed can just come in, make tax hikes, and we're a bunch of BPS away from basically having your favorite investment turn into dust, basically, and you lose 90% of your gains or something. Yeah, crypto is very volatile, though. There are no breaks, unlike in the stock market, basically. That's why Bitcoin, in my opinion, could be a really nice indicator for future stock prices, if you will. It really is fast. You know, in hindsight, in 2020, I thought with the whole problem that you know about, right? With the whole situation in 2020, I thought everything was gonna come crashing down with no survivors, basically. But it turns out that, at least in the markets today, in finance, I would say the markets are controlled by people first, natural elements second. Now, don't get me wrong, I think there will be consequences for all the political measures and all the people who were basically mandated to do certain things, if you will. But those will always come second. We're already feeling 2 years later. And what I have to say is, they sure did take its while to come here, but man, when they came, it came like a hurricane, sometimes quite literally like a hurricane. Yeah, I don't know if what's happening in some parts of Asia. I heard it's a really hurricane-prone area. But anyway, it's not something that happens, seasonally during the year. It's something more like, how can I say, every 2 or 4 years or something similar to that. But to answer, to just come back to the Joe Kennedy mythos about the shoe shiner and the person who sold the top, you want to follow this basic rule of trading, because investment is, at the end of the day, still a glorified type of trading. You buy low and you sell high. If one of the best ways to know if it's low or high is what we call as bottom and top indicators, and that's a very common sense way to detect that. Basically, what you do to check out the bottom and top signals is you just talk to normal people That's it. But it's not really just that it, right? What you gotta do is you go to your grandmother, for example. You go to your parents, if they're old enough, if they're like more the baby boomer or on the older Gen X part, right? And you ask them, hey, what do you think of the finance today? And there's basically usually 3 types of answers. They're gonna say it's bad, they're gonna say it's okay, or, it's stable, or they're gonna say it's great. When they say it's bad, then it's time to buy stuff. When they say it's okay, then maybe it's time to buy or sell, or maybe just stay in your position. Don't sell anything. And if they say it's really good, then it's time to dip out. Why is that? Well, markets, they work in cycles. And remember that rule that I told you about? That you're supposed to buy low and sell high? Well, when the lowest parts of people are buying, that's when you know that it's time to sell, because there's an inversion of the hierarchical pyramid. Because, I don't care what you think, but society is basically determined in different types of hierarchies. If a shoe shiner or a saloon hairdresser, or I don't know, if a mailman or mailwoman comes to me and starts talking about crypto, then it's not a good time to buy or maybe should sell, because they're not really into that. It takes a lot of interest. They're basically what we call as exit liquidity. That's when you're supposed to sell stuff and not actually hold. One of the things that this bear market has actually proven to us is that I don't think it's a very good idea to just hold for longer and longer periods of time, where you could have sold and get a profit. And if you still believe in the project, you could basically always sell and buy later when, all the people who panicked away sold all their assets. That's basically how the market works. You sell first, and then you buy a second. Basically, you shoot first, and then you ask questions second. That's how things work, basically. And if you respect these rules, which are ruthless and really heartless, but that's how the financial world works, basically. That's how you succeed. So don't be like the shoe shiner. Be like Joseph Kennedy, I guess, except with crypto. But in all fairness, if he was still alive today, I think he passed away, he would not buy Bitcoin for sure. Wow, Sigma, that's such a good advice. Why are you giving that for free? Do you think I'm stupid? Come on, cough it up. Where you're hiding? What's the catch? Well, there's no catch. Well, the catch is I'm actually giving you this nice, piece of secret in the hopes you're gonna buy my project once it comes out. That's basically the catch. But anyway, you don't need to if you don't want to. I think it's a promising one. I think you're really gonna like it. But anyway, this is basically the secret of investment. You gotta make right decisions that usually don't go along with what the average market buyer, thinks. That's basically what you do. It's just as easy as that. So yeah, you just gotta be a very intelligent contrarian. That's basically why. It must be why most people do not like the good types of investors out there. They're usually very fascinated for sheets, right? Data sheets with a lot of information. And they start to put a bunch of numbers and say, wow, this is such a bad idea. Everybody's going to get scalped. Maybe I should, go against that dopamine addiction wave people are having from getting millions and millions of dollars, or having their houses basically taking off ginormously, having massive gains, and basically, hey, I'm gonna be that guy who ruins the party, and that's why everybody hates your guts, basically. So you're basically becoming like that. Oh, the rich boy from Harvard, who is a good investment type or something. But yeah, it sucks. But in the end, this is how you get successful in the financial world. So yeah, you gotta go against the wave. Gotta be against people who don't actually think for a moment and check. Wow, this is great, but what about the fundamentals? Are the pumpamentals okay? Does it matter if that shady guy from FTX got caught and is basically in the Bahamas? Does it matter if Caroline Ellison was using amphetamine? Doesn't matter if they were literally having things that I cannot say here because it goes against the terms of service, right? Does that matter? Does it matter if people are having, I don't know, snorting lines and lines of cocaine just to get a buck out of people's gullibleness out there? Does that matter? Well, here's my opinion. I think that the unwise and the immoral get fleeced first in the financial world. That's the reality of it. Because remember that little type of Wall Street Harvard rich boy that usually gets a lot of money? Well, in the end, they'll get bailed out, and we know what happens when people get bailed out in America, right? We get pissed, we demand change, and sometimes it happens, other times not, but you get my point, right? So I do believe that in the end, what really matters is be wise, give value to your money, because it was hard earned, and you never know when a bear is going to be around the corner. Every fundamental was against this market, but the market kept going and kept going and kept going. In the end, it just turns out that a man called Jerome Powell decided to make the market keep going, you know? He was like, okay, had the 2020 situation. We have these people here demanding me to print money and stuff, right? So let's give them money. But eventually he thought, wow, I can't keep going like that. Uh-oh, bad news ahead. I'm gonna do some QT or quantitative tightening, right? Oh no. Where's the money printer? It's gone. Oh no, I lost my house. Oh no, used cars are skyrocketing. Oh no, I can't feed my fucking family anymore. Oh no, indeed. And the people who knew that Doge, reached $1, they knew, oh my God, we're in a bubble. And that's, my friends, one of the, what we call as a top signal. Forget the shoe shiner. We don't have the shoe shiner anymore these days. We have Graham asking about Bitcoin. We have a bunch of people who never even touch a self-custodial wallet before in their lives, talking about investing and stuff. We have people who find out what staking is, talking about it at Twitter. And as a result, I have people like Do Kwon still free. You have men like Sam Bankman Fried. You have women like Carolyn Allison and so on. Maybe I should make a list of the people who thought that was a good idea to invest in the FTX. I knew from a mile away that guy was a fraudster. I mean, just look at him, people. Come on. Look at it. And this is the cool thing about crypto. I know these people are not going to bail out because they don't deserve to get bailed out. All right? Because every time man like me say, oh, guys, maybe this is the bubble and maybe we should not be accessing liquidity anymore. And they're like, what? What do you mean it's a bubble? Come on, man. Don't ruin the party. Can't you see I'm snoring some lines of cocaine around here? Come on, man. Come on. So, yeah. This is what I have to say. So, should you invest in crypto today? No, if you would, I think you're crazy because Binance is kind of sussing a little bit, okay? And I heard we found out 100 trillion hidden dab or something. So, wait until mid 2030. If you're not eating maggots from corpses by then I think it would be a good point to invest in crypto. Until then, my friends, remember, Jennies suck. And buy my goddamn fucking NFT project when it comes out. It's gonna be the best investment of your life. Okay? It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. Because take a look at Bored Ape Yacht Club. These monkeys, little flea bags, can recover. So this project can become even greater. Of that I am sure. Alright guys, line goes up and down. But wherever the case is, I'm gonna work on this project, my art, I love it a lot. And above all else, Do not be X liquidity. Thank you.